I'm Mrs. Taraporewala, the daughter of Baidul, and my daughter Shirin. We had come to India many years back when Baba had called us. And actually, Baba met us when he had come to Iran, to our place, when I was a little baby. And then when we came in 1939, Baba was very pleased to see us, and we were really so happy that we met a person of very unusual personality. So the first thing we did was to see Baba and embraced him, as he was so loving in his way. And my family, my sister, my mother and my father, we all came back to Baba, and Baba instructed us that we should stay in the ashram as he wanted us. And we were for a short time in Meherazad down below. That is till we got accustomed to his ways, that were his orders and all that was given to us. And then he took us up to the Meherabad, where his present tomb is. And there we stayed many years in the ashram with Baba and enjoyed his lovely company. And of course, he used to give us lots of orders. We had to obey and do as he wanted us to do. We were in the ashram for many years with Baba, and we were brought up just like Baba's children. And we had to obey his orders. And sometimes to test us whether we will tell the truth, he would ask us that we had done anything, and we would be willing to tell the truth. So we would insist on asking till we would be given and tell the truth finally. Once what happened, I had gone to some tree which were the poisonous berries, and Baba asked me, "Did you eat that berry?" So I thought Baba was going to scold me. I said, "No, Baba, I did not." So again he said, "Now we tell the truth." And he started petting me. So I said, "Baba, yes, but it was not so much bitter, so I ate it." So he said, "That is poisonous, you will kill yourself." So after that, I knew he was not going to do anything, he was loving, so I admitted, and so he was very pleased about it. But in the holidays when we were with Baba, he used to send us to school after, and in holidays when we were with him, he used to train us in such a way that we could be faced every sort of life, you see. And then there were many children, and when he was in the resting time, sometimes we used to make lots of noise. So he used to, just to make us obey him, he used to come out and say, "Now, children, don't make too much noise. I'm resting." And we used to finally forget what we were doing. In that way, it was very hard, but we used to obey. Finally, we used to find that to obey him, he used to make us realize that what is good for us, you see. Now what? Then finally we were given to meditate. We were taught how to do a little meditation, how to obey Baba's orders. And then I was about 8-9 years, and Baba used to go into seclusion and said, "Now you all meditate." And of course we never knew what meditation was, and it was very hard. And first time I remember it was 5 minutes, and we used to just peep at the time and say "Baba, Baba," and then peep at the time again. And Baba once just came out and says, "Is that the time to look at the time? Is that the thing to look at the time? Only it's best is to love Baba and just don't count your time." So of course, after all, we gradually learned to do what he wanted, and then the time he changed into half an hour. And it became much easier for us to meditate with his help. In the ashram, Baba used to always have little meetings, and then bell used to ring, and the Westerners and Easterners, we had to rush to Baba. Baba's calling, "Come on, run." And so we had to leave whatever we were doing and come. Some of them, of course, it was difficult to leave certain things and run to Baba, so we used to grumble. So Baba used to ask, what's the matter? One day there will be a time when you'll be longing to hear a little bell ringing like that, and to hear Baba's clapping and calling you. Just wait and see what will happen as the days go. Now you may grumble, but afterwards you'll repent. So we were very happy in that respect when he used to explain things. Then he used to be, sometimes he used to scold us, and the next moment he was so loving and compassionate, and he used to give us sweets and then tell us things, what is good for us and what is not good for us. And he used to take us, for a long walks, and while taking for a walk, he used to also have test us, what we would be, good for, and what we should do, or what we should not do. In this way we were very, of course, it was not very easy to obey his orders. Sometimes we used to break his orders. He used just to test us. He used to tell us many things to do. And then
how did Baba test you?
Sometimes he used to say, now don't eat this. This is not good for you. Or that is orange which has fallen from the tree. Don't pick it up. And so he just left us there with plenty of oranges on the ground. But I remember once he told us that, and we just about to turn and says, is that the order you are obeying? In 1939, Baba travelled from Ahmednagar to Bangalore in the blue bus with the Westerners and Easterners together. And everywhere we went, it was all rush and hurry, because Baba wanted his work to be done in such a hurry. And the only thing was that we had to pack and unpack in a short notice, you see, whenever he wanted. And it was a rather difficult time for everybody. It was to test our discomforts and all that thing. And sometimes he used to be very kind and give us all that we asked for. Sometimes you just to go through all those hardships, he used to just test us and say, no, you must not have so and so things, you must bear up, and you have to go through all those difficulties. And naturally, he finally showed us that all these worldly things, which had no significance with spirituality, and to have both happiness as well as spirituality, one should go through all sorts of difficulties. Baba says to be with him life was not a bed of roses. You have to advance one's soul. You have to have all sorts of experiences.
When you say it wasn't a bed of roses, if you explain a little bit about that part, some of the rough parts.
Of course, you have to sacrifice all the good things you want, all the pleasures you want to enjoy.
What were some of the things that you had to sacrifice, that you were?
I practically what Baba said to what was necessity we used to have. And the rest, you see, the worldly pleasures, he tried to teach us those were not necessity for everybody, you see. For a soul to advance, every person had to go through all sorts of difficulties, whether pleasure, happiness, sorrow, you have to have it. But mostly...
What were some of the difficulties that you went through?
Well, so sometimes you see it was hard to obey him. We had to obey, and sometimes we had to sacrifice certain good things to eat. We had to.
What were some of the good things that you had to sacrifice?
Sweets. Sometimes, when we were in the ashram, we were never. Eating meat or something like that, and some nice dolls and all that things. So we had to sacrifice all that. As other children were having, we could not have it. You see.
I was about 4 or 5 years when my mother took me to Guru Prasad for darshan, and Baba was sitting in a room, and they were surrounded by a few people, and I was quite small, and we had to sit for a long time over there, so I became tired, and I stretched my legs out. right in front of him, and so mommy smacked my legs and told me to sit properly. And Baba, seeing this from the back, he said that, why did you hit her? So mommy said it's not good to sit like that in front of a master, and she should sit properly. So Baba from the back said, no, it's quite all right. Then mommy said, no, I don't think it's all right. It's not good to sit like that. Then Baba, he said that yes, it's not good to sit like that. You should give respect to the elder people.
What did Baba say about that? Did he say anything further?
He told the whole crowd sitting over there that you should give respect to your elders, and you shouldn't think. Then Baba explained that you shouldn't take him lightly, and you shouldn't take advantage of him, and he had come down in a human form from the highest of the high.
Now I'll tell you about an incident when Baba was in Guru Prasad about 1963 or 64. A little boy had come to see him, and Baba had given him orders that you should not go in the sun in the middle of the day. But he took it lightly, took a cycle, and he went roaming about in Pune. All of a sudden, his cycle was about to come under the big lorry. But some old man with a long beard stretched his hand across and saved him from being crushed under the lorry. But he was so nervous, he took his cycle and came back to Guru Prasad to see Baba. So Baba, in the crowd, pointed out to the boy and said, come here. Do you know that I came down from my work to the lower level, that means this fourth plane or so, just to save you because of your parents? So the boy was shocked to know this. He said, how did you know, Baba? He said, the old man who saved, I had to take that form, and I saved you from that because of I love your parents very much. So the boy, after that, loved Baba so much that he thought that was a miracle for him, actually. And really he believed Baba so much that Baba also was very pleased. That is how Baba tries to awaken many persons who they are hard, to be awakened. In 1962, when Baba was having Mass Darshan in Pune, and many people used to go from all over India to see Baba. And so I used to also wanted to go with my children, but my husband was a little bit backward to let me go. So I used to make all sorts of excuses, but I used to manage to run away and from him. So we had a little conflict every time I had to go to see Baba. So I said, no, never mind, I must go. I used to take the children, but as soon as I reached the Guru Prasad, where Baba was, the first thing he would ask, did you have a little conflict with your husband when you came here? So I was so shocked to know Baba, how did he know all that? And that, it gave me a little more confidence that my Baba was with me and watching me and helping me to come and see him. And that was like a miracle, what you might call a miracle, that Baba knew everything, he being having the whole universe in his hand. So naturally my faith in him increased as every time I used to find that Baba knew all about us. He was guiding us, protecting us and helping us. Otherwise it was not possible to come and see him without his help, you see. That made us so happy that we had somebody great to look after us. And which one was that? When we came from Iran, my sister Daulat caught typhoid, and Baba did a lot for her to recover. And after recovering also, she got another disease of a very rare kind, and Baba ordered medicine from England and America, and of course she was practically cured. When once she met my mother and said, what shall I do with your daughter? do you intend that I should give her another birth, or shall we continue with this birth? Just to test my mother what she would say. So my mother was quick enough, and she said, Baba, you are the father and the mother and everything combined. Why do you ask me such a question? Do what you like and what you think best. So Baba was quite pleased, and then of course the rest was left to him. Baba, in his own way, was very merciful with the poor, with the rich. He knew how to deal with everybody. But the only thing he wanted everybody not to hurt anybody. He said that the heart is a very delicate organ, and that is the place where God always resides. It is not the temples and the palaces or anything like that, but the place which is most secret is your own heart. And he used to always tell everybody that to hurt one's feeling was a wrong thing to do. You can do anything but never hurt anybody's feeling. So many a times Baba would be eating, and when in the company somebody would come along, and immediately, supposing that person, maybe a poor or any rich person, he would immediately take some food from his own plate and make that party have it. And supposing a party comes without clothes, or he is in need of money, immediately he would ask his closest disciple, just go and get so much money for that party, or just go and get a clothes. Or he would take, if necessary, he would give his own shawl, or he would give his own coat, take it out and give it. And that would make us, realize that we should also do the same. We were so entranced to see the master doing that. And it was just like a picture, seeing him doing all sorts of things, you see. And playing with the little urchin boys sometimes, he used to cuddle them. We used to say, my Baba, that fellow is so dirty. Why does he do? But he said, no, he's got a very good heart. You don't know him. So he used to teach us to mix with every sort of people, to be kind, and at the same time being generous, not to be, hurt anybody's feeling by. Many a times with Baba used just to test us whether we would tell the truth. He would say, now, yes, you, now tell me what you are thinking about. And so we used to sometimes tell the truth, and sometimes we used to fib. So Baba said, no, that is not, come on, out with the truth. And till I finally been taught now he is too strong for us, we used to just tell the truth, and then he says, now you are right. And we always try to say the right thing and not just go round about the bush. And of course, he was very fond of asking us to sing, and whether we were prepared or not, we had to just sing what he asked for it, you see. Many times we had to act and take humorous parts and tell humorous stories. Many times Baba used to tell us to tell him humorous stories and act. And once I had to do some acting about the milkman, and on the spot, after all, I never knew the language of the Indian language, because I had come from Iran, and so I went on with all sorts of funny sayings, and Baba was quite pleased, and they said, oh, go on, now do a little more, and of course we became more enthusiastic and did more, and so he was very pleased about that. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba.